I got some of this for
my
you.
goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Hey, we're going to keep it nice and short. A little opening this week is nice and short. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. I want to say what's up to Bo Crouch, the man of hardest working man in the Northwest, man of many shows. I think I got you, though, Bo. Today, I'm going to get your WNBA feedback. And I think I got you on the hanger today because you're not going to weasel out of this one here. We're going to get your feedback on the problem and the correction, the cure for the WNBA. We also, as you know, man, there's a lot going on in the NFL. The NBA is crazy right now too. But we're going to talk about, Bo, I got you on the line to talk about what these NFL teams are doing. And your Seattle Seahawks, Bo, they win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They elect not to pay the Super Bowl champion, or excuse me, the Super Bowl MVP. They elect not to pay that guy. I guess you can't use a Super Bowl MVP in the future.
They can't use a $15 million running back that they know will get hurt. I mean,
they did it to themselves, man. They ran the guy into the ground. So now the guy they got their use out of him, and now see you, huh? Did he get a watch outside of his Super Bowl MVP trophy? Did he get a watch commemorating his time in Seattle?
No watch, but he got a ring.
He earned that ring. He earned that ring. Don't act like that ring was a gift. He earned that ring. He was a big portion why the other 55 guys got a ring. Don't act like this is a gift to him. He earned that.
That's what he got, though. He got a ring, he got an MVP trophy, and a pat on the butt. Thanks for stopping by. No, I mean
the NFL game is so cold, man. The NFL game
really is. It really is. Like, I mean, it's exactly the way Seattle operates with running backs. Like that, if you were him, you would know, right?
So,
like, you would look at the history and be like, "Yeah, I'm probably not playing here next year."
I understand. Before I even say this, Mike McDonald has a 3-year pass. Snyder, right now, March 11th, Snyder has a pass until the new owners decide they don't want to see him no more.
Yeah,
but if you're going to pay anybody on the team, you pay the guy who carried you to a Super Bowl title. It wasn't your quarterback. It was your defense. I granted it was the defense was the other 55% of that equation.
Yeah, the defense carried a lot. So there is that.
But so next season, you're going into next season with the rookie running back because you're probably going to draft a running back.
Yeah.
And a guy who's coming off an ACL injury. Like, does that make sense? Did that make sense? You save yourself $5 million instead of having a running back that was there.
Well, no, you're saving yourself more than that, but because you're drafting a running back late in the second round. But at the same time, this is exactly what you expect out of Schneider. Like, this is exactly what he does. He'll pay a receiver. He will not pay a running back. And we can't keep running backs healthy. Like, we haven't had one not land on IR since 2014. So
might that have something to do with your offensive line? Might that have something to do with your offensive line? Might you be the problem for that, Bo?
It's definitely a part of it. It's definitely a part of it. No, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, when you see the way they use the running backs and you see exactly what Schneider has done over his time with Seattle, you knew for a fact Walker was in stand.
Yeah. He got the $28 million signing bonus plus
he's making
plus another
15 million a year.
But that's 2 years, though. It's 2 years.
No. He's making 15 mil a year. Like, so
for 2 years. For 2 years, though. It's
a
3-year deal, but he got 28 signing bonus, and then the 15 and the team has the third option. So it's really a 2-year, $15 million deal with that big signing bonus. Cash in, great job for you. But it's a 2-year deal. And yeah, that was probably twice as much as the Seahawks want to pay a rookie for getting for 4 to 5 years. We'll see how that goes. But let's stay within that division.
Yeah,
your Los Angeles Rams.
They're the best team in the league.
We know Kansas City, and I would send somebody to infiltrate their locker room for a few reasons. Me being a Miami Dolphin fans, I want to know who Kansas City likes as a quarterback. That's the first and foremost. Who does Andy Reid like? Who does Andy Reid dream about playing or scheming up plays for as a quarterback? I want that guy. And then whoever's drafting their cornerbacks, I need their formula, because what they can pick cornerbacks dating back to I'm having a brain fart. I can picture the guys in my head, but he played the cornerback for UW and got drafted by the Chiefs, and then ended up playing for the Rams. Oddly enough, I'm having a brain fart, but he was a stud at the UW. He was a stud all the way in his career. Actually, he just some want to say mental case. I think he was in more trouble. But the Kansas City can draft cornerbacks.
Yeah, well, and that's why they got rid of McDuffie.
Yeah, I know. They can replace him easily because they're going to go find another guy.
Especially because they have 2 first-round picks. So like that's why Walker to KC made all the sense in the world. They get rid of McDuffie, who was going to make roughly $15 million a year. You take that money, you give it to Walker. That fixes your running back issue. Your 9th overall pick now is probably going to be that corner. I forget his name offhand. And then your
I don't think they're going to draft a corner in the first round. I don't think they're going to get a corner in the first round. I think they have a more pressing need on the offensive line. But go ahead.
But that's what they're going to get with their 26th pick or 23rd pick, something like that. So their early pick, they'll actually probably get that number 1 corner who is a dude. And then with their later pick, because there is a lot of line availability in the first round this year, you don't need to move up to go get a guy. So you can get your corner replaced and an offensive lineman while fixing your running back issue all in that first round. So, I mean, that made a ton of sense. Plus, you're going to have Mahomes back in, roughly week 3. And then you have Kelsey coming back for another year. So you know what your tight end situation is. And so, I mean, you actually got to kind of like what KC's doing if you're a KC fan.
Well, Bo, so here's I've been giving you a hard time, giving you Snyder and McDonald a hard time about not signing the Super Bowl MVP.
Sure.
I mean that's I think when a guy earns his position and perform. I mean, he performed when he had to the most. When the chips were on the line, he performed the most. I think for that, the guy should be rewarded. However, here's where you're going to say I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I do not like that signing for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what the Kansas City Chiefs. Haven't spoken to anybody from Kansas City. I haven't spoken to anybody from the front office, but I can only imagine the Kansas City Chiefs are thinking they're getting a Super Bowl MVP for the next 3 seasons.
So,
and that's unfortunately not what they're getting.
The thing is you got to remember what he's replacing. He is an upgrade from Pacheco. And he does block, which is something Pacheco does not do. So that is something that has been missing from the backfield for KC, especially when their offensive line was suspect. They needed a running back that could at least provide a block, and Pacheco wasn't that guy.
I don't know, and
that's actually why I laughed that the Lions are getting him, because they're used to having running backs that can block, and they're getting a guy that is not going to do much of that.
Well, I think the Lions got him because they need somebody to spell Gibbs. They needed somebody to kind of take the load off Gibbs, and Gibbs is going to be the guy, but they just need somebody to change the pace.
Sure.
Pacheco just runs too freaking hard. I think he's going to be hurt again within week 7 or 8. I think it's a good thing that he has some help or somebody to share the load with, but I don't think Pacheco's going to last the season. I don't think Kenneth Walker.
with Pacheco coming in, you know it's a running play because he surely isn't blocking for you.
or going to catch a pass out the backfield. You're exactly right. I don't. But the Kenneth Walker to the Kansas City Chiefs. If I wanted to play with somebody, if I had a chance to play with somebody, it'd certainly be Patrick Mahomes. I just don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are getting what they think they're going to get in Kenneth Walker.
No, of course they're not.
As you know, he has a history of being injured. As you know, he hasn't carried the ball over 250 times in his career with Seattle. And I don't know if the Chiefs are aware of that. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine they are, but I just don't know if the.
You also got to remember that he had, he was great during the playoff run, but during the season, he was going to lose his running back one duties to Charbonnet until Charbonnet got hurt. So, I mean, it's not everybody just like forgets the rest of his history. They're like, oh, he had a really good 3 weeks. Yeah, he did. Did Nick Foles. Like, what are we talking about?
well, I mean, I think the running back's a little bit more transferable. Is a little bit more transferable skills team to team. I just don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get what they expected to him. And I actually like the Chiefs. I just don't know that he's not going to be 1,000-yard running back for Kansas City in even if they pick up the third-year option. In either of the 3 years, I don't project him being 1,000-yard running back. And I think that's going to be disappointing for Chiefs fans.
He's probably going to get hurt.
So talking about go back to those Rams with signing McDuffie, does that make them the best team in the NFL? Does that make them the best team in the NFC West? Or is it going to be a slobber knocker again with because they also why that was a good move. They picked him up actually before the Niners signed Mike Evans, but obviously they needed somebody for Jackson Smith and Jigba. And they're going to need somebody for Mike Evans. They got that dude. We know McVay always has his team prepared and hovering around that division championship. Do you expect the Rams to be right there again?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the moves that they've made so far were direct needs, right? Yeah. They were exactly where they came up short last year. So, and that's why they're like, hey, we don't care about these picks. We know what our team is. We know where our shortcomings were. And they went and targeted exactly those things. When you look at their roster construction, if it ended today, they probably are the best team in the NFL.
They're going to be pretty freaking good. What about the craziest thing? The Ravens, Eric DaCosta said he was gutted after calling Max Crosby to say that the trade with the Raiders is off.
Yeah.
Was that the wildest thing? I guess it kind of worked out for the Ravens because they don't give up the two number ones and you keep your two number ones and just go pay Trey Hendrickson to come over.
So then
I guess it worked out well. It worked out well for them.
So that's where you got to wonder was that a situation where was that physical really like, oh, this guy's messed up, we got to back out of this? Or was it, there's a lingering thing. This gives us our opportunity to back out of this, keep our number ones and go get a guy. It makes you wonder, like, is Crosby actually that hurt? Or was this a little bit bad faith bailing back out of this thing?
So I'll lean on Schefter when he says this, that it was only 4 weeks ago that Crosby had surgery. Yeah. It was only last week that he's been off of crutches. So Is he healthy? No. Do teams often kind of rubber stamp the physical? Oftentimes they do. But if you remember, Drew Brees suffered the shoulder elbow injury in San Diego. His last game is the very last play of the last game of the last season. His last season in San Diego, he suffers that elbow injury.
Yep.
He's messed up all off season, and he has to decide: does he go to Miami or does he go to New Orleans? Mm-hmm. Well, he wanted to go to Miami. I mean, if you give an option, Bo, where are you going? He wanted to go to Miami,
It's
but
fair.
Nick Saban said he didn't pass his physical. And so he goes to New Orleans, has a Hall of Fame career in New Orleans. So this has happened before. This isn't brand new.
Of course.
However, I truly think so. They made this deal on Friday, right? This deal went through Friday afternoon, late Friday. It was kind of one of those things over the weekend that kind of, I don't say it was getting swept on the rug or kind of get hidden because it's not in the news. It's not major news happened after Friday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
I think it was public opinion and public pressure that got to these guys because they're like, why would you give up a number one? Why would you give up 2 number ones?
Yeah.
And the guys out there, you could just go pay somebody and keep your number ones. That was the talk over the weekend. If you remember, that was a talk made, especially on Monday, with all these across the airwaves. So I think it was the public pressure that kind of changed their mind. Okay,
that's exactly why I said, was this all the shape he was in, or was some of this kind of bad faith? Right?
No,
like,
again, bad faith, public pressure, whatever you want to call it. I think they were like, yeah, let's revisit this. If this is a legit way where we can get out of the deal, say he didn't pass our physical. Let's keep our number ones. I think from what I heard, they try to renegotiate with the Raiders, say we'll give you a number 1 and a number 2. The Raiders like, no, you made a deal, and I would be like the Raiders too. I would no, we had a deal. What are you guys talking about? So okay, deal's off. They go get it. Worked out for them. They go get Henderson, and now they still have their number 14 pick, which was a pretty lofty pick. I didn't think the 2 number 1s was a problem in itself. The number 14, which should have been enough, but because I'm thinking next season that pick is going to be in the 20s. They're not the Ravens weren't expecting to be in top 15. Picking in the top 15 picks next season. So really they're giving up a top 15 pick this year and projecting out a 25 to 32 pick. So I would have been okay with the 2 number 1s for Crosby, but as it worked out, I think it worked out best for them. They get to keep their picks. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, obviously for Baltimore, it works way better. Right. I mean, you keep your picks, you still get a highly effective guy. And yeah, I mean, sure, Max has had, 7 surgeries. Absolutely. The thing is a lot of players do, especially when you're talking about linemen. You don't necessarily hear about all their surgeries all the time, but, you hear about their surgeries when it happens in the regular season. A lot of these guys end up with surgeries in the off season. Like it is really common.
Clean up surgeries. The ways surgeries have become so less invasive nowadays that they do happen a lot more often, a lot more common. The Cardinals officially released Kyler Murray. Now I thought the best fit for Kyler Murray was going to go to Minnesota, which very well Minnesota is emerging as a favorite. I thought that's kind of a no-brainer, though.
Let me ask you this. Are you saying that because of the financial end of it? Or
no. I'm saying I really try to look at things for players, how they perform on the field. The financials, they can get all that stuff can get worked out. I think the way they perform on the field, I think Kyler Murray is terrible, number 1. And I think Kyler Murray, for his personal development as a quarterback in the NFL, he needs to go play for Sean McVay. If you can't play for Sean McVay, you need to go play with one of these quarterback whisperers. And Minnesota needs him. Minnesota needs them. You have weapons out there. You have weapons galore. The only thing they don't have is a running back. They can draft a running back, but they have weapons there. I think Kyler Murray can make all the throws. He is small, but he can also move in the backfield. He's not a statue back there. His only hindrance is he's small. Okay, you want to say he doesn't work out or he doesn't study the playbook. I think if you're playing for a coach, the quarterback whisperer, who's going to make you do that, make you learn the playbook, I think he's going to be good. I'm sorry.
So,
go ahead. I didn't hear what you said.
No, you're good. Like that's not my knock on him. Like I didn't even put that part of it in my thing.
Okay.
Him having the rumors and not working and all that, right? Because who knows if that's true, right? Like I've never seen this guy work. I don't like his skill set for O'Connell. So
you don't like his skill set being able to move and make all the throws?
No. So think about O'Connell. The guys that he has the most success with are the guys like Cousins and Darnold. He likes that. He likes that guy that commands from the pocket, right?
The more drop back quarterback.
I
disagree. I have to disagree with that. He said he made not Romeo Dobbs, the Pasternaut or the astronaut was
he was still a pocket passer. He was mobile, but he was a pocket passer first. Kyler isn't.
Okay.
Kyler needs to move. He's more of that Russell Wilson guy, which is actually why I think the Steelers could use him more than Minnesota.
I don't know.
Because
I wouldn't go to
Steelers.
Steelers.
Cousins will give you the same price tag. He already is familiar with the system and all the players.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could get Cousins back, I that might be the steal. It just might be plug and play.
Well, he's released.
Well, I understand he's released, but where does he want to go? What does he want to do? Does he want to go back to Minnesota? I thought Minnesota overpaid him the first time, but I thought he was good. I was surprised when they actually decided to get rid of Kirk Cousins because I thought he was just
start.
He was a
So he wants to start, so that's where he'll start because JJ is hurt.
Yeah,
and so he'll get to go in there. He'll get a start. He'll know what's up. At least they won't have done him dirty the way Atlanta did. He'll go into it knowing that eventually he loses that position, right? But he'll get to come in, and it won't be this year. He'll probably get to start the whole season because they tried out JJ. He got hurt 2 years in a row. He didn't look particularly great. The rest of the roster's ready to win. So he commanded that roster well. On the other hand, talking about Kyler, him going to him potentially going to the Steelers works because he's an off-schedule guy, and that's actually how DK works better. Because DK doesn't run a great route tree, he tends to be able to like float around a little bit because he's not where he's supposed to be anyway. And so, that allows him to work towards where Kyler's going. So because they also don't have a great offensive line, it's kind of part of it.
So let me understand this. So you want to get DK, the head case on the outside with the quarterback who wants to do his own thing. You want these guys to somehow mesh, come together and mesh.
Absolutely. And that's not even me thinking about the Steelers beating the Seahawks in their first Super Bowl appearance. That's just, it actually does make some sense.
Would you Seahawk fans stop this, man? Please. And are you gonna say the Seahawks should have won that game too? Are you gonna tell me that the Seahawks should have won that game?
Not a chance. So I'm not one that blames refs for stuff. If the game comes down to a call by the ref, you didn't do enough. Straight up.
Right. There you
go.
Yeah.
When I look at that particular Super Bowl, were there bad calls in it? No question. Is that why they lost? No. I would say one of the big reasons we lost was the 5 first downs we dropped on third downs. I'd say that's a major contributor.
Oh, the receivers you had, or you give up the 75-yard run to the running back who was just fast. Like he had nothing else, he was just fast, and you give up the 75-yarder. Like, come on. I mean, and then you can't stop Hines. Hines Ward looked like he's Lynn Swan reincarnated. Nonetheless, I was just giving you a hard time because I was hearing a couple of weeks ago about the Seahawks fans talking about they should have 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, people are super butthurt about that one. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, I'm not one that blames refs. Like if you are, if you're blaming the ref, you weren't putting yourself in position to win anyway.
Yeah, you didn't do enough.
Yeah.
So you like Kyler with Pittsburgh, with Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh?
So no, I don't like him there. I'm just saying his skill set works for the disaster that is that team. His skill set works better for that team than it does in Minnesota. Now, Minnesota likes him because he will play for the league minimum because Arizona picks up the rest of the tab. So when it comes to their limited cap space, Kyler Murray makes all the sense in the world. But when it comes to the guy that O'Connell likes and typically tries to use, he's not that guy. Not to say he couldn't have success. I'm just saying.
If I'm Kyler, I'm going to Pittsburgh. If I can't go get on the team with Sean McVay, I'm going to Minnesota. I might fly there on my own dime just to walk on the team. Like for real. For real. I think that's what Kyler. I think that's what he needs. He needs to kind of not rebuild not rebuild himself. That's not what I'm saying. But he needs to get with the coach that is going to actually coach him up and make him a better quarterback. I think Kevin O'Connell will do that. Sean McVay would be the first way to go, but I think Kevin O'Connell will do that. If he wants to go sit on and ride the bench, go sit and ride the bench. Go just be in the quarterback room with McVay and Stafford. If you want to get better, just go do that. And then next year, you've seen how it works. You go spend the time with McVay. You end up being a starter somewhere else. You'll be a starter in no time. You might be the starter for the Rams because Stafford only has a year or two left. If you impress McVay and McVay says, "Hey, I can work with this guy," you might be a starter there. I mean,
that's never going to happen. You don't think he's seen enough tape of Kyler Murray being in the same division? Come on, man.
Man, come on. He went and got Baker Mayfield, dude. He went and got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Okay. He went. He revives quarterbacks. Okay, that's what he does. He revives quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
He's not signing up. He's not signing up for Kyler. Come on, man.
Kyler, you get the Kyler no credit. It worked for Jimmy.
It didn't work for Jimmy. Jimmy wasn't.
What do you mean
good?
It didn't work for Jimmy? What do you mean it didn't work for Jimmy? Jimmy was in the Super Bowl 2 years later with the 49ers.
Yeah, and Jimmy Garoppolo is one of the funniest quarterback situations, right? Like he played really well when Brady was injured, right? He came in balled out, right?
Right.
And if you would look at just stats, like his win ratio, all that looks awesome. You watch him play, a lot of those games he won was in spite of his play.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean,
he did in spite. You call it Jimmy trash? Jimmy wasn't trash.
No, but his skill level, it does.
He did some questionable stuff.
It doesn't mirror what his win ratio is.
Oh,
so
no, come on now, come on, you can't do that. You can't do that. If a man if he has a QB rating of 115, you can't say that's not accurate.
No.
That's his number. That's his QB rating.
That's not what his QB rating was, though.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying it was 115.
If that's what if that was his QBR, I'd be like, hey, you know what? Cool. But that was not his QBR.
I think his QBR was like in the 90s. I'm gonna look at it right now. I think his QBR was in the 90s. I'm pretty sure his QBR was in the 90s.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like Jimmy G wasn't some elite talent. Like he was all right. The team around him was amazing. That Niners team was no joke. And realistically, he was, overthrowing a receiver by 7 yards away from probably winning a ring.
What was his QBR? I'm looking at 67%. What was Jimmy G? You shitting on Jimmy G? Jimmy G was a solid.
No, I'm not on board calling him some amazing talent. Like he was all right.
He was a solid quarterback. Like I said, his QBR was in the 90s. He had for his career, he had a 97.6.
Yeah,
I mean, that's serviceable.
He's a solid QB, but he wasn't anything that you're like, wow, he's amazing.
Okay.
He's a Matt Ryan kind of guy.
That's cold. Matt Ryan was a league MVP.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan was a league MVP.
Look at the rest of his career, though. Like There's plenty of
come on,
guys.
you can't take away his 1 year, his amazing year. You can't do that, Bo. I can't let you do that.
No,
Are you gonna? I'm not saying did he have a Hall of Fame career? No, he was a league MVP though.
Exactly.
For one season.
If you take that year out of it, he was
Bo,
all right.
Bo, you can't do that. Bo, you can't do that. You can't say take 1 year out of it. You can't say take the guy's best year out of it. You can't do that.
No.
Bo,
What I'm doing is I'm making a comparison. If you're looking at the rest of Matt Ryan's career outside of that one elite year, that's kind of what Jimmy is. Like, I'm not taking it away from his career.
That's a fair comparison. But you can't say take away the guy's best season and what do you have left? This is the guy he did that. He earned that status. You know what I'm saying?
But we're not comparing Matt Ryan to Garoppolo. We're comparing Garoppolo to Ryan. So we're taking that 1 year out because that's where the comp makes sense.
So you want to take Garoppolo's Super Bowl season out of his and Matt Ryan's Super Bowl and say they're the same guy. That's what you want to do. You want to say they're the same guy.
Absolutely not. You have to leave Garoppolo's season in there and take Matt Ryan's away to make that comp work.
Okay. So where else do we go?
Better overall if you're including his Super Bowl run.
Matt Ryan, yeah, Matt Ryan's a better quarterback. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't even say if you were to both take out their Super Bowl runs, both of their Super Bowl runs.
Well, no, you have to leave Garoppolo's in there.
Well, because otherwise he's going to be way down on the bottom barrel.
See, you're proving my point here.
No, but what I'm saying is you can't do that though, Bo. You have to give him that credit for getting his team to the Super Bowl. You have to. He did that. You can't say, well, we can't say, Bo, let's take away that 1 year you won a national championship. How good were you really? Well, that year kind of defines what we were able to do.
No question.
So I just say that's unfair. What Falcons fans are going to be saying pretty soon is it's unfair that they signed Tua Tagovailoa. Like this, what are you guys doing? And they didn't even wait. They didn't even wait a couple of days. They didn't even see if somebody else is going to pick Tua up. They went and signed him right now. It helps that he's playing for $1.5 million because Miami Dolphins stupid ass is picking up $99 million. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
Of course, because you watched Russell Wilson. You watched Russell Wilson do this exact same thing.
It wasn't. That was a 3-year deal that the Broncos gave up. They threw up the last 2 years of his deal. Yeah, that's right.
No. They threw up the entire thing. He never
took
a snap.
He didn't play one. He played 1 year. He played 1 year for what you call it.
No.
He plays. That's when your guy benched him. Didn't your guy bench him? Sean Payton bench him?
He finished his Seattle deal. He never took a snap under the new deal.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not counting the deal. He was on the team. He played on the team, and then Peyton, I'm not counting the deal.
His entire contract that he signed to go there for, he never played under. So all that guaranteed money was just a straight up cap hit. They just ended up, drafting a kid in Pro Nix.
Did they eat it? No, because there was.
That's why he was playing for $1 million with the Steelers, and then played for $1 million.
They played like 130 something.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the Broncos ate more than the Dolphins did, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they're just not eating. They just didn't eat it all at once.
Right. Yeah. The Dolphins.
The Dolphins are just straight killing a third of their cap.
Well, that tells you what they're going to be next year.
And bad.
Bo, I'm not going to go on a Dolphins rant. I'm trying to prevent myself from going on a Dolphins rant, but I want to ask some legitimate questions.
Yeah,
some legitimate questions. What has the Green Bay Packers done in the last decade to make you want to go pilfer people from their front office to say we need Green Bay South? Help me out, because I don't recall Green Bay going to win any Super Bowls. In the last decade. They had Aaron Rodgers, so they went to one, and a lot of people would say they underperformed in Aaron Rodgers' career.
Sure.
Help me out. help me out. Open my eyes to what has been so attractive to the Green Bay Packers that you go and pilfer their front office to say, I want to be Green Bay South.
I have no answer for that. Like that, that didn't. As soon as that move happened, I'm like, what?
Like,
yeah.
Like,
no, there were better candidates out there. Unless their plan is that they're just going to have an interim guy that they're ultimately going to fire when they're terrible. I didn't. So
the GM and the owner. I mean, excuse me, the GM and the head coach. They both came. The GM came from Green Bay. The head coach was a defensive coordinator in Green Bay. I just don't know what was so impressive about the Packers that I want the regime. I don't want the front.
Did they sign for a 3 or a 5 year? Do you know?
The coach is there for 5 years.
It's 5.
The coach is there for 5 years, and I'm assuming the GM is be there for that same length of time.
For sure.
I just don't get it. I just do not get it. What was so attractive with these goofballs? They're underperformed. If I look, and I was hoping to get your opinion. If I look at just the last decade, you had Aaron Rodgers let's say they had Aaron Rodgers for 4 to 5. Just looking at the last decade. You had Aaron Rodgers for those first 4 years. They underperformed. He was a MVP, right? 4-time MVP. Many people would say Aaron Rodgers underperformed. You only win 1 Super Bowl into that. You only appear in 1 Super Bowl. Many people would say that's underperforming right there. Then let's look at the rest of the team. Okay, you draft Jordan Love. The jury, I think most people would say the jury's still out on Jordan Love. What else have they done that's super exciting? Christian Watson gets hurt every other game. I'm trying to think of what's been so successful with the Green Bay Packers that I want to adopt Green Bay South. And I can't find anything, and I'm looking for somebody to help me with this logic.
No. I haven't liked anything your team has done. Yeah, honestly. Like everything I've watched them do, I'm like, eesh.
I mean, Ross, just give me Ross. I need to go down, and that's what I need to do. I need to go spend some time with Ross and just get in his ear, and maybe he'll let me be the GM. Ross, pay me half of you paying for these goons, Ross, and I promise you we'll have some passion on the field. I don't know what these goofballs are going to be, but I promise you we'll have some passion on the field. Ross, I'm clueless, but I don't know how Malik Willis. What are you doing? I don't even like Hewers. I would rather run with Hewers than sign Malik Willis. I don't think Malik Willis. First of all, we're trying to stink. We're trying to stink because a third of our cap is not even in the locker room. So we're trying to stink. We're not trying to win.
Yep.
Malik, what is Malik doing? Malik Willis doing? Do you just we pay him? Okay, we got him on a great deal, sweetheart deal, but we already had a rookie quarterback.
So why you do this is because he stays healthy.
Who? Ewers?
Willis.
Or Willis?
Ewers doesn't. Ewers got hurt every year of his career in college.
Well, I'm not a fan. I started off by saying I'm not a fan of Ewers. However, going to sign Malik Willis is not taking us anywhere. Malik Willis is not going to win 6 games on his own next season.
Agreed. I actually would have I would have just elevated Zach Wilson. Because you're trying to be bad to be in next year's quarterback draft.
We'll just start Ewers. Just start Ewers and go 4-13. Start Ewers. I don't believe Ewers is great. I don't believe Ewers is great, but at least I would see if can Ewers be a backup because he's not going to be a starter. Can he be a backup moving forward?
So Ewers can be a backup, no question. That's why I said realistically, I wouldn't have done the Malik Willis thing either. You're trying to get a quarterback next year. You're trying for that number 1 pick. So start Wilson. Have Ewers as your backup. Wilson will be healthy the whole year. He'll also suck, and so then you can go draft your guy because I mean. Malik will actually win you some games.
He'll win 2 games, man. He'll win 2 games. I think with Ewers, we'd win 5 games. With Malik, we'll win 7.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's where we are.
He's going to mess up your draft.
The draft.
That's what I'm
your
saying.
draft position.
Exactly.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you go pick him up. I don't understand why you pay this guy. They have a sweetheart deal. They're paying him 3 years, 45 million. I don't know why. Because they know him. Because they know him. Because he was in Green Bay.
Exactly.
Green Bay freaking sucked. Green Bay sucked. When he played, you were like, okay, I think he played 4 games. They went 1-3. Okay, we didn't lose all of our games.
Well, but
he kept us competitive.
He played well in those outings.
Goodness, they went 1-3. They went 1-3.
Yeah,
they didn't win.
The defense didn't show up. Like he actually played decent. So, statistically, he was fine. So they bring him down again. He's a transitional piece, right?
Yeah, I understand he's not the long term, but I'm just saying, why even sign him? Why even sign him? I don't understand. You don't want, like as you mentioned, you want to be bad. So we don't.
Yeah,
why go get this guy?
They brought him because it's going to be faster for them to implement their offense. Because he already knows it, right?
Really?
I mean,
really? Yeah. I don't remember that offense. I don't remember the offense being so transformational. I don't remember anything about Green Bay being so transformational that I needed to go get there from. Oh, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying I just don't see anything that was so transformational about the Green Bay Packers that I needed to put them on the team. I don't get it. That I needed their defensive coordinator. I need somebody from their front office to run our team. I needed their backup quarterback. I don't know. I don't see it, guys. So feel free, hit me up at _voice of the fans on Twitter, at _voice of the fans on Twitter. Explain to me what the heck somebody sees so passionately about the Green Bay Packers that you want to bring them and make them Green Bay South. I don't see it. No. They've been mediocre and underperforming for the last decade. That's not what we need. Okay.
Well, that's what you need this year.
Well, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm with you. I didn't, as soon as they got rid of McDaniel, I actually didn't even like them firing him at that moment because you didn't have a plan outside of it. Right? Like a third of the league got fired. Like that's not when you want to do it because you didn't have the best opportunity for a coach. So when you have 9 other openings,
right, you're not the most attractive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like, so you want to try and fire your guy when you're the most attractive item out there. So when you are in the bottom third is a attractiveness when it comes to rosters, it's like, oh, okay, of course you're not going to get anybody you want. So that's where keep McDaniel. You're like, you know what? We know we're going to be bad. We'll run this back one last time.
No, they couldn't run that back. They couldn't run that back again. McDaniels was not a head coach. McDaniels, the squad walking all over him. The players
just signed for 5 years.
I mean,
you were going to pay McDaniel anyway, right? He's still under contract, so you're still giving him money. You might as well run that one back if you know you're going to suck.
He's not a head coach, bro. You can't continue that regime of him, just guys walking all over him. You can't do that another 18, 20 weeks. You can't do it. You couldn't do it. But he's gonna look fabulous out in Los Angeles. He's gonna look fabulous with Justin Herbert and the receivers. Now we're gonna actually be like, oh, where was Quincy Johnson been? I mean, he stunk his rookie year. He got progressively better, but they're gonna be like, oh, these guys. They have a tight end. Oh, Rondé Gaston. Oh, look at how good these guys look. He's gonna be in a whole different world. Romeo Doubs, speaking of the Green Bay Packers, Romeo Doubs signing with the Patriots. How you like that move?
I actually like that move for the Patriots.
I thought it was a quiet pickup.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, obviously they moved on from Diggs, and it's funny.
I think he could be an adequate replacement for Diggs. It might sound weird, but I think Romeo could be an adequate replacement for Stephon Diggs.
Well, you know what they're building, right, is they didn't win any championships when they had somebody that just absolutely ripped the top off, right, in Randy Moss. Mm-hmm. When they did win was with Welker and Amendola and they're sort of building that. Like when you look at their pickups at receiver, that's kind of what they're doing is they're getting those kind Edelman, those kind of guys, the possession guys, still fast. Not to say Dobbs is like inadequate or something, but he's not what you would imagine as that guy that can just rip the top off a defense, right? So
do you expect AJ Brown to sign with them? No.
I expect him to be an Eagle.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he played for Vrabel. I thought Vrabel might go get him.
No, they want so much for him. Like that's the thing is they want an absolute fortune for him. I made this analogy earlier today about AJ Brown and Crosby kind of fell in that same thing. So imagine you have a motorcycle and your wife's like, "Hey, I want you to sell your motorcycle," and you don't want to. You like your motorcycle, so what do you list it for? Something no one will ever pay. And then if somebody does pay it, you're like, I mean, okay, for that price, I'll let it go. That is AJ Brown, is they don't want him to go. But if you come with 2 number ones and a player, you know what? Yeah, he can go. So
we might be able to depart with him, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of what it is. I don't see Vrabel giving up that kind of draft stock for the guy. And yeah, so that's kind of the way I look at it. Is he up for trade? Sure. Is anybody actually going to trade what they want? Probably not.
Okay. I thought that would be a good pickup for those guys. Alec Pierce for the Colts signs a huge new deal. They paid him. Would you like that signing? You like that signing?
Yeah, I think they overpaid for him, but I mean
But I think it's the guy who earned the contract. He's been solid for the Colts. They haven't been great. He's been solid for the Colts his whole career. He earned some money.
And that's why I say, like, I like the signing. I thought they overpaid, but like I'm not mad at it. Like it's a good signing.
What about Michael Pittman going to the Steelers? I don't know why. What the heck, Pittman? What do you know, Pittman? That you're going to leave? Well, I guess in Indy, you didn't have the best of quarterbacks there either. Yeah. But you go to a place. I don't understand this signing. I understand why the Pittsburgh Steelers would want to go get Michael Pittman. I don't understand why Michael Pittman went to the Steelers.
Because he's still the number 1 target. Everybody's going to follow DK like he is, but DK doesn't catch well enough. So Pittman he'll be the guy.
He'll by default.
So the thing that's funny is when you look at the yards at the end of the year, he'll be the number 1 guy, but DK's speed will get the fastest corner on him.
Right. Okay. So he'll have easier time. We'll see how that works. But who's going to get him the ball? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? Is it going to be Kyler Murray? Who's going to get him the ball?
I mean, as it sits today, it's Mason Rudolph.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's their plan, but I don't know.
I mean, it's not the plan, but I mean, even Rudolph was able to get that team into the playoffs. So, I mean, like if that's the route you had to go, they could do it.
I think it's a different team. They let Minka go. They traded Minka for a 6th-round draft pick. Yep. Mike Evans to the Niners. I like that move. I like that move for the Niners. I like that move for the Niners.
I don't like it as a Seattle fan, but I like that move.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's gonna. As a Seattle fan, you won't have to cover him past 15 yards downfield. But he's going to be wide open. He knows how to get open. And
and that's why I don't like it.
I like that. I like that move.
As an analyst, great move. As a fan of a team in the division, not a fan.
Yeah, I think I think that was a great move for the Niners to give a big target to a big consistent target to Brock Purdy. And the targets he's had recently. Debo and what's my other guy? Ayuk.
Yep.
They've had one season apiece and haven't been consistent, neither one of them. Now they get a consistent receiver. and Justin Jennings can grow. Pearsall can grow. I think I really like that. Really like that signing. The funny thing about it is, there was a meme of him playing next to the radiation plant, practicing next to the radiation plant.
Yes.
And how long will he last?
Hamstring dissolve.
Yes.
Yeah.
But good. That's funny. Tyler Linderbaum gets paid by the Raiders.
Yeah. They made moves.
Yeah. We talked about them. Max Crosby. So what do you do with Crosby now that the trade collapsed? Do you talk him into staying? Is he still on the blocks? What do you think?
So you have to think he's still on the block. And the only reason for that is I don't know that financially you can hang on to him because they made moves with the thought of his money coming off their books, right? So you sign Linderbaum 3-year, $81 million. That's no small chunk of money. You sign Nakobe Dean 3-year, $36 million. You sign Quay Walker 3-year, $40.5 million. I mean, those are some very real dollar figures, right? And they actually signed a couple other guys too. I just didn't have it written down at the moment, but so I mean, like they have some money that they spent, and with that in mind, I don't know if he really still fits in their salary cap. Now, again, they had the most amount of cap out there, but they were planning on those number one picks and the money coming back to them and all of that. So, can they use him on the team? Of course, right? Like he's still elite, but it makes you wonder, does that affect any of these other deals from actually getting signed?
Domino
effect, right?
Oh,
because
boy.
now you don't have that money. Does it undo some other stuff?
Right. I'm not sure what it would undo because they have money under the cap. So, I mean, I'm sure they can pay somebody. Do you like Geno Smith going to the Jets? Do you like that move?
I find it funny. Like, so the problem that Geno is going to have is the same thing that Malik's going to have with Miami. Is he's going to come in and win just too many games and mess up your draft stock. Like that's what it's going to be. They're not going to be good. They're going to win just enough to not have their quarterback of the future in the draft. He'll come in and he'll win 7 games.
Yeah,
which means you're going to pick 12 or whatever, right?
Yeah. Just out of position for a top quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder how he likes going back to New York. At least Ike isn't there. The linebacker isn't there who he owed money to. So
I can't imagine he loves that. Like he might be glad to be out of the Raiders because he seemed to have hated that. But he didn't seem to like the fans all that much. He seemed like he liked the nightlife just fine. But he didn't seem like he liked the fans a whole lot.
Well, the fans is going to be there waiting for him, I'm sure. Reek Willen going to the Eagles.
Hilarious.
You don't like that signing? Well, you weren't a fan of him.
I like it just fine.
You like it?
Yeah.
How about the Eagles fan? What's the?
Yeah, I like that signing for a different team. No problem. So,
what's the Eagles fans in your life think about that one?
Well, my co-host in the morning isn't sold on it, and he shouldn't be. I mean, so the thing is Reek.
He's not your number one guy, though.
Well, no, he won't be there either. Yeah. The problem with Reek is he's a boomer bust guy, kind of like Diggs. Right. And so, which is fine when you're getting the turnovers, so that when you get burned over the top, you're like, okay, well, I can deal with him giving up that touchdown because we also got the turnover, whatever. Right. But when those turnovers aren't coming, and then they're also doing kind of bonehead things, like, Enrique's most recent thing was the NFC Championship game where he gets a taunting call and then immediately torched over the top for a touchdown, right? Next play. Right. And then the first play in the Super Bowl that we gave up was him getting torched almost on the same kind of route. And so But this wasn't isolated. That just happened to be a situation where everybody got to see it. But we've seen it over the last few years. So you knew in that scenario he wasn't coming back, just the same way that Dallas moved on from Diggs, right? It's a boom or bust guy. And when you're not getting the boom portion of it, the bust hurts. So, that's what, unfortunately, that's what Philly is getting is that guy. Now, in their system, because he's not going to be your number one corner, does he get to eat a little bit more because he's not covering your top guy? Maybe. Right. But the problem with Reek is, he's a big guy. He's super fast. He doesn't like to tackle, and he's not generally where he's supposed to be in the defense.
He counts on that talent and that makeup speed.
That's exactly right. And so if he's going in there as your nickel or something like that, that could work.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be in Philly. They got Cooper. Cooper is probably the number one back, and Mitchell is the other guy. So yeah, they're going to put him at corner. So I don't know what your Eagle fan is not liking about that. Kevin Byard going to the Patriots.
So why I convinced him he shouldn't like it is because as a nickel corner, what is your other job? Run stop.
Oh,
he doesn't like to tackle.
He don't tackle. He don't like to tackle.
That's the problem because now you have a guy in the middle that doesn't want to tackle.
Right. Yeah. I see it. Anyway. Kevin Byard going to the Patriots. You like that move? Another good signing for the Patriots.
Yeah, I like that move.
Another good signing for the Patriots. Steve-O says Walmart money is different. Yes, sir. It is. Yes, it is. And this guy says he also says you're confused with Kyler. I think you're confused with Kyler. I think Kyler is going to be good he would be good in Minnesota. I disagree with your
terrible. I'm just saying
with your synopsis of Kyler Murray. So we touched everything in the NFL. Anything in the NFL you want to cover that we didn't talk about? We disagree on Jimmy G. We both laugh at the Chiefs signing Murray. I just don't think it's as much as I've been on Murray's side to get paid from the Seahawks. I don't know that the Chiefs
Walker
are getting. Excuse me, I said Murray. I don't know that the Chiefs are getting who they think they're getting, and I just don't. I don't. It'd be funny to say that they don't understand who he is because they're obviously in the league, but
I
don't know that
overpaid for a guy that is going to be a little bit better than Pacheco.
We'll see. I like Pacheco. He just got hurt, and he just got hurt because he runs too freaking hard. That's his problem. He just runs. He runs,
and he also doesn't like to block. And their offensive line hasn't been that good over the last couple of years, so they need a running back that can. So they're going to get a little more well-rounded back. Pacheco had better hands, though. He can catch better than Walker.
We'll see if that works out.
So I do have one for you.
Go ahead, please.
What do you think of Goodell trying to add a Wednesday game for Thanksgiving Eve? I'm not a fan of Wednesday games. I think it hurts your other team's ability to prep for the game.
They're going to have a game on Sunday, the weekend, right? Sunday, Monday.
No,
and then
they'll never do it that way. What they'll do is they would give them the Thursday night before it and then have them play that Wednesday. So they'd still have almost a week. There's no way they'd be like, hey, go play a Monday night and then get out there Wednesday. They're not going to do that.
So they're playing. No. I wasn't thinking the Monday night teams would play that Wednesday. It'd probably be that Sunday night team. But you're right. Okay, if they play that Thursday night, they have a short week. Play Thursday night. Yep. Then they come back around and play that Wednesday night game.
And then they'd reward them coming off the backside of that with like a Monday or the Sunday night game to give them the
Sunday,
right. Like a
more rest, a little, short bye, if you will.
Yeah,
I mean the NFL is king, man. You turn the NFL on. If they play it on Tuesday night, man. They're going to have ratings if they play it on Tuesday night.
I don't disagree. I'm not saying I won't watch it. Of course I will.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I don't love it from a prep standpoint. And it's not unprecedented. They did it before Christmas.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago. So, I mean, it's not that it can't happen. We watched it happen. It was a special on Netflix and all that. So
it's a money grab,
it's
man.
Not that it can't work. Yeah, of course it's a money grab, but yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't love
the NFL flexing. So the NFL is going to have, if they went ahead and did that, they're going to have a game on Wednesday night. They're going to have the 3 games on Turkey Day. Then they're going to have the Friday night game.
Correct.
Hell, they're probably going to come up with a Saturday night game too. Why not? Why not before Sunday?
Yeah,
like that'll be NFL 5 nights in a row.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, no, overexposure. Talk about overexposure. That'd be 6 nights in a row because then you got Sunday. You got Monday night coming after Sunday.
Yeah,
talking about overexposure.
They wouldn't have Saturday because it's not quite late enough in the year, so it'd still be college. So you'd have the one day
Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving after Thanksgiving. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about after Thanksgiving is that Friday. They don't care about that, Bo, because they had that Friday game was a Texas and who? Texas and Texas Tech game was always that Friday night game.
Well, that's because
it was always that Friday game.
That Friday,
NFL stuck their game in there. NFL stuck a game in there on Friday. The NFL don't care about the NBA or college football.
So that Thursday game, that Friday game, how it originally came to be was because of their contract. They had Amazon as the Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
With the Netflix oversight.
They needed.
Well, no. So the oversight was Thanksgiving was a different network, and Amazon's like, "Hey, you owe us a game," and so they did it on Friday because it's the Thursday night crew for the Friday game.
Got you.
And then,
because the NFL TV has a game on on Thursday. NFL
Correct.
TV airs a game.
Yeah.
So it's their Fox in ABC or NBC, and then NFL Network.
Exactly.
And then Amazon, they owed Amazon a game.
And they're like, "Oh, we'll just do Thursday night football on Friday." And then it just stuck.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Oh, well, this works, so we'll just keep doing it." But yeah, so there wouldn't be one Saturday for all the college games. Now, if it was a month later, college would be done and it wouldn't matter. But because
I don't know that they care about that, Bo. I don't know that they care about the college games.
Yeah, I mean, they do a little bit because it's a whole day.
I'm not sure they do, Bo. I'm not sure they do.
I think for that 1 week, they'll just go ahead and keep their games on Sunday and Monday. I mean, you're already going to have 5 of 6 days, right? So I mean,
right? I understand.
I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I understand. It's they'll be fine without a day, an extra day of games. But the NFL wants to keep their name in the top of mind. So, Bo, before we let you go, man, thank you for joining us here. Let the people know where they can find you on social media and all the shows that you air that you do, Bo.
Yeah, so all the socials, you can find me at Football Talk with Bo, my YouTube channel at Football-Talk. And man, the shows, especially on a Wednesday, it's an exhausting run. So it's my first show today was at 6 a.m. And this will be the last one of the day. And I think I've been on camera for, I don't know, at least 8 hours today. So I'm ready for some dinner.
Well, let me help you get there, man. I just want to know your feedback on. We had the deadline was yesterday for the WNBA team to get their stuff, their affairs in order.
Yep.
3:10 was their drop dead deadline.
Yep.
Now, the WNBA wants to keep the cap at $5.75 million per season. The union's proposal is trying to double that at $9.45. Yep. The league actually wants they use the deadline so they don't disrupt any national TV windows, arena contracts, or sponsorship activations where they're going to have to give some money back if they miss the deadline. They say they're trying to keep the season on track, and they said the conversations are going in the right places from all the reports that I've seen and dug up. What is the bigger sticking point? Is it the salary cap from going from $5 to $9 million a year? Is it the revenue sharing? Now, from what I understand, the players have accepted the 30% and not trying to get 50% like the men have, which probably I understand it being unfair, but I think accepting the money. Excuse me. Let me just finish this one point. And I'll give it to you. The sticking point could be the salary capping increase, the revenue sharing, or the housing. I can't believe the housing is such an issue, but that's pretty cool that they have the housing. Which is a bigger sticking point in your mind? Housing, revenue sharing, or the salary cap increases?
So two of them kind of go together. So it would be the salary cap and the revenue share. And it's some of that is because the revenue share, they were trying to say, hey, we'll give you 70% of the net. And they're like, no, we want to at least do the 30% of the gross. Right. And which is smart because 70% of the net is hilarious because if you're a smart business person, the net can be nothing, right? Like your job as a business owner is to manipulate things to make it look like you don't make a profit. Like that's the whole idea because you pay taxes on profit. So you try and make that not a thing. So the last thing you want is a percentage of the net because their whole job is to eliminate the net. Right. What you want is a revenue stream of the gross because then it's like, I don't care what tax games you play, we're getting paid.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's the biggest sticking point is them actually getting paid. And so the deadline passes. I think what's curious about it is the deadline passes yesterday and they're waiting until Tuesday to finally sit down together when they've refused to sit down together for like a month and a half or more.
Right.
And it's just like, really, you wait till after this to then finally sit down because the timeline to get everything done is ridiculous now. I mean,
they're going to have to crunch. You spelled it out a couple of weeks ago. They're going to have, they're in a crunch right now. They're in a time crunch, a serious time crunch where again, I think there's so much involved. A lot of things are already in place. They can push the button and have the season started. But they just got to be willing to push the button, and without everything already agreed upon. But I think there's too much money, and I have to change my. I'm gonna send you a link so you can listen to this interview that talks about the finances of the WNBA, and I kind of have to change my tune in the sense that the women, and I don't know the number specifically, Bo, but if the ladies want to go from 9% in revenue sharing to 49%, I thought that was a preposterous ask.
Sure.
Most businesses, and this was my line, I said this months ago, most businesses look to enjoy 8 to 12% growth every year.
Sure.
8 to 12% growth. They wanted to go 40%, which is that's ridiculous. That's unheard of. Well, so I thought that was a little too much.
You're talking about a league that was going to have monumental growth also, though.
Yes, I am. But still, I'm talking about a league that you can't go from a 9% revenue share to 49%. That's preposterous. It just doesn't. You can't go 40% growth. That doesn't happen. So to ask for that and to press for that, I get you made a point a couple.
The league is going to get more than that. So the league is going to have more than that in growth based on the contracts they signed, right? So this year, without those contracts, they finally hit the revenue sharing for the first time ever anyway. And then you're going to add $200 million a year in TV contract.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't know how you go from. I just think the ask from.
Well, you're always overshooting on your ask anyway, right? Like you're overshooting to try and land
shoot
somewhere.
For the star. Middle, shoot for the stars. You shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. Yeah.
So I mean, they're sort of. They just.
So I think if they take the 30%, I think the 30% is a good number. It's 20% growth. It's 20% growth off of what you had. Let's get back and play some basketball. Is it the 40% or 45% closer to what the men got? No, it's not. But if the number was 9 and now it's 30, I think that's a 21% growth. Yeah, we should probably be applauding the ladies for sticking to their guns. I think that's where we should be at. The housing, I think that's a plus.
The housing, it sounds like they want it. There would be a threshold for who could get it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really designed for the rookies who aren't going to make any money. Right.
Right. Those making under 250.
Yeah. Because like if you live in the Seattle area, right, and you're looking at the rookie contracts right now of 60 to 70K, well, you better have a roommate if you want to live anywhere near where you practice and play.
Bro, we're right. Exactly.
Right?
Anywhere.
In fact, you might need a couple of roommates. So,
Right.
I mean,
no, I thought the housing was a pretty cool cost, man. I wish I could get my employer to pay for my housing. I thought that was a pretty good perk there. Do you see? I think the women got to. If they end up striking, unfortunately, the league is going to have the advantage because they're going to have the media to spin their propaganda. Where the ladies, if the ladies strike, they need to get ahead of this as soon as they can and mention, we are not striking, we're being held out, whatever their selling point is.
The ladies have the better opportunity here because the other leagues pay better and they play less time. So,
yes.
Well, so
okay. You mentioned this a few different times during this our little debate here.
So think about it.
The ladies have different revenue streams. Yes, they have different leagues they can play in, but it's not the WNBA.
That's great. So let me break it to you this way. Let's put it in normal job situations. You're like, okay, now you could work for Boeing, right? Massive plane manufacturing, largely regarded as, one of the best manufacturers out there, right? Or you could work for this little aerospace company. It's kind of rinky dink. They give you more than twice the amount of money and you work a third of the time, but it's not Boeing. But do you care? If you're going to give me twice as much money to work a third of the time, I don't care about the prestige of working for Boeing. I'd be like, hey, you know what cashes every week? My check. And then I work less, so then I get to go do other stuff. If I'm going to work three times longer, you better be giving me compensation for that.
Are you, and the point made, point understood, point taken. Are you willing, working for this other Ricky Dink aerospace company?
Sure.
Is this a short time? Is this for just a seasonal job, or is this an all year job? Because the WNBA is quote unquote seasonal, but as you mentioned, as you know, it's more demanding. It's taking up much more of your time.
Yeah, so then all of a sudden you're going to take this cheaper or this one that's less time intrusive that gives you more money because then during that time off, you could go work another thing and make even more money. Whereas this new contract for the bigger company that's paying you half as much wants you to not work anywhere else.
Well, I mentioned that was preposterous as to begin with. I should be able to make money whatever I'm doing.
And even if we were going to keep it in sports, right? So I played arena ball. If playing arena ball meant somehow that I was going to make more than I would have than I could have at the NFL level, yeah, it's not the NFL Shield. You don't get that prestige, but at the same time, the season's shorter and I was making more money. I'm going to stay where I make more money because your earning years are limited.
Are limited. Your earning years are limited. So this is why great point right there. The earning years are limited. So with Dominique Malunga,
Yeah.
At 22 years old, she can play in the WNBA, and I'm just going to throw out some numbers. I don't know her contract. So if she makes $5 million a year playing in WNBA for 45 games a season, and then she can go to the rivals and make that same $5 million for playing 17 games. And what is unrivaled? It's like 3 weekends, right? It's not even a full seasons.
But see, that's not where it would be. It would be you're playing in the WNBA for the 70,000 that they're getting, and then she gets to go to Unrivaled that is playing for, again, a third of the time at best for $500,000. That's what we're talking about. So do you need the WNBA?
You don't. So I'm thinking, I guess I'm thinking for prestigious purposes, like it is the prestigious league. I understand your point. I understand your point, bro. I'm thinking this out loud with you. Yeah. I understand your point, and that's what I'm thinking is the prestige of playing in the NBA. Is that an allure to bring the ladies back, or do they want? Because I thought they wanted to stay over here in the WNBA. The Project B and Unrivaled are fantastic alternatives for them to play and make money here in the States. But the WNBA, it was to prevent them from going to Russia. It would prevent them from going to Uzbekistan and playing basketball overseas. That's why they wanted to get more money through the WNBA, and then they can play in these other leagues so they can make money all year round. The WNBA isn't helping out in this situation, which I think they should be. I agree that the owners. It'd be nice if they showed the books, but if they showed the books, then the point it wouldn't be okay. Thank you for showing the books. It would be now, are these books accurate? Let's see the real books. That's what the discussion would be.
That's where the books don't matter as much when you're doing it off the gross, because then you don't have to worry about the hidden money. You have the money coming in, right? Yeah. So that's the thing is and this is why I keep saying the league is overplaying their hand, because these other leagues are paying better for less time. So unless you just are hung up on the prestige that does not pay bills at all. Right. And your earning years are short. So are you worried about prestige, or are you worried about financial stability? Because when I show up to work, financial stability is the important part.
Well, financial stability is certainly the important part. But if you can get the prestige of playing in a more popular league, all that.
Yeah, if the money's there.
Because then you get the contracts, you get the endorsements, the endorsements is in everything else that comes with it. I'm not sure. Are they getting endorsements playing with the Project B or playing with the Unrivaled?
I mean, they are actually, even the TV ratings were actually pretty solid for Unrivaled.
And they're getting compensated. They're getting a piece of that TV chunk, huh?
Yeah, because
those contracts are really challenging the WNBA.
Well, and I mean, that league was started by the players anyway. So I mean, it is more player friendly overall. So I mean, again, I think the WNBA is hurting themselves by not getting this done, because the other leagues did well, and there's enough momentum that people were watching it.
They're going to, but those other leagues will be elevated if the WNBA does not start their season on time. Does the Unrivaled negotiate those stadium deals?
I would.
And game for those nights. I would too. I would be on the phone with it right now.
Absolutely.
But that would kill the WNBA if the Unrivaled or Project B took those nights that the stadiums are already scheduled to be filled and filled them with Unrivaled game versus WNBA games. Oh my goodness.
And then you make the same phone calls to the same TV producers that already have those time slots. They're like, look, we were planning on these games. Like, they are playing with fire that they shouldn't be in an early stage of profitability that they're in.
And that's what I'm seeing that not only as I mentioned, as you know, and fans, you guys know, I am kind of hung up on the prestige of the WNBA. Additionally, the WNBA needs to conform to what needs to understand what they conform to the competition.
Yeah.
Like they're going to take these time slots and fill them. Just like Ice Cube filled these arenas with the Big Three games, these arenas are going to have a need now. They have a need. And if you leave this need open, WNBA, why wouldn't Project B or Unrivaled come and fill these slots that are already open? Like as soon as they say that our season's off, that means around the country, around where we have 28 teams in the league, there's going to be 28 teams, 44 nights for each of these teams that have open slot arenas.
Yeah. Well, and not only just that, but you have ESPN that lost their Sunday Night Baseball to NBC, and they now have moved into Women's Sports Sunday. The main sports they were going to put on Women's Sports Sunday was soccer and basketball. So you need a product.
This is going to get real interesting. This is going to get real interesting here real soon.
The players have the upper hand here.
I think they do. I think it's about selling it, though. I think they're going to have to sell that message. And there's enough of them on social media. There's enough of them to talk, to share their message about how they feel disserviced. However, I think the WNBA does have TV contracts, and they can easily put somebody on TV right now on obviously ESPN, TNT, or any of these stations to talk about why the players are screwing this up. The players are going to have to combat that. I know they have a better ear to the ground of their fans than the owners do. So I think it would be an easier sell, but I think they need to get in front of this, because right now I think the momentum is something I'm looking at too, that the WNBA has built up some momentum over the last few years of growth. Not only growth, but the contract, and that's been confirmed by the contracts they're signing with the TV deals. That there's been growth, and that momentum. You guys are messing with the momentum, the organic momentum that they've experienced.
That's the biggest thing, because when you look towards the end of last season, when Angel Reese was hurt, Caitlin Clark was hurt, Paige Buchers was hurt, the numbers continued to grow despite them not being in the building.
Right.
So the momentum is there. So the fact that the league is squabbling over some stuff that potentially is going to cost them big money is surprising to me, because they've already got the women down really far from where they were. So at this point, running into the danger of 6 weeks from now not starting on time is
what's going to happen. You're going to have somebody come and eat your food. You're going to have somebody come and eat your food, and that's not going to be a good feeling when they say, okay, at the Climate Pledge Arena is going to be Unrivaled versus the Storm X. That's going to barnstorming team, and the stadium is going to be full. There's going to be people showing up. They still want to go see women's basketball, and when they show up and they're paying Unrivaled dollars, and need to go right to the players' pockets, like the WNBA is going to be like, they're going to have some egg on their face. They're going to have some egg on their face, man.
They're going to be standing there. All the chairs will be full. Like this is how you kill a league that is finally starting to get there.
Right. I don't think that's a good time, man. Bo, before you go, you got a question here from the gallery. Yep. What do you think about the two Penn State running backs? Is it going to have a more productive in NFL, Singleton or Allen? I'm not familiar with either one of these guys, so I have to Anthony Mazzano. I'm going to have to let Bo answer this question. I'm not familiar with any one of them, oddly enough, with either one of these guys.
Yeah, so fit matters, right? If I actually like Allen to go to the Seahawks at pick 69. So he is running back
To the
Penn
Hawks.
State. Yeah, the Seahawks. Yeah. So I like his. He's a hard runner. Good hands, can work in a system where it's multiple backs. So I actually like him better for the Seattle kind of climate. But when you're talking about careers, man, fit is everything. So you'd have to see where they're going to go. Like once they get drafted, then you ask me that question again, I could probably give you something, but either one of them could have a great career or a terrible career depending on where they land. So I can't really answer that question so much. I do like Allen for Seattle's specific layout. So
he's a one cut back.
Yeah. And he's a bigger guy. He's fast, a good blocker, has actually a little bit better hands than like Kenneth Walker had. So, I mean, he's a complete back. I think he rushed for like 1,300 yards last year. So, I mean, like solid back. And the other guy that I liked was Jonah Coleman out of the UW, similar skill sets. And both of those guys will probably be available about the time Seattle picks. Those are the two guys that I think Seattle will target in the second round of this draft. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Is I like Allen better for this situation, but as far as their careers compared to each other, man, it's going to depend on where they land.
So, final question for me, Bo. Yep. And something that I'm gonna be looking at very closely coming through the draft and through preseason and obviously into the regular season. Does Charbonnet, who has a better season, complete season, Charbonnet or the rookie running back they draft? Because we know Charbonnet probably won't start the season. So he's probably
he won't. Yeah.
So
I don't think he'll be available until about halfway through.
So as Kenneth Walker wasn't a rookie, but he took a season plus to kind of find his don't want to say niche, but to find his comfortability running in this offensive scheme.
So
do we expect a rookie running back to find his rhythm faster than
yes.
Kenneth Walker wasn't a veteran, but do we expect a rookie running back to find his footing in this new offense faster than a rookie running back in his second year?
Yes,
because Kenneth was in the second year when Snyder took over, right? Last year, right? Was it second or third year?
When McDonald?
When Mike McDonald took over last season, yeah. Was that his second or third year?
So that was his second year.
Okay.
The Super Bowl year was the second year. So yes, he will have a better starting position than Walker did because the offensive line is significantly better than what Walker started behind. And your running back needs your offensive line to do their job. So
absolutely.
When you look at Kenneth Walker, he spent the first 3 years of his career getting hit behind the line of scrimmage first because our offensive line was a bottom 5 the entire time he was here. And that's also why since 2014, Seattle's had a really hard time keeping running backs healthy because they've had a bottom 5 offensive line from 2015 on.
But it took Kenneth Walker some time this season. Even this season, it took him some time to understand how to run behind in this running scheme.
Sure, but this entire offense is new. So they replaced the entirety of the interior of the offensive line. You had all new receivers. You also had a new quarterback.
So to my point, are you expecting a rookie running back to grasp this scheme and be more productive than an injured Charbonnet? I expect Charbonnet not to be 100%. And I just don't know. I just don't. I think it's a lot. It's a huge ask to ask a rookie running back to come in and be as productive or more than a guy who's been in your running scheme for the last 2 seasons.
So I don't think he's going to be more productive than Kenneth Walker was this year. No, you're talking about a guy that's been in a system for a couple of years and whatever. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. Do I think he's going to have a better year than Charbonnet? Sure, because he's probably going to miss half the season. And then at the same time, they're going to be evaluating, can you be the guy? Because Charbonnet will then be looking for his contract at the end of this season also, because he was drafted the year after Walker. And because his numbers are going to be down, you might retain Charbonnet because, well, no.
You're going to keep the injured guy, but not the guy who won you a Super Bowl and championship.
Of course.
That is the Seahawks right there. That is the Seattle Seahawks right there, Bo.
No. And you know why you do? Because when you have a guy that goes and wins the Super Bowl MVP, he's going to get the maximum amount of dollars because he showed out when it mattered at the end of a year in his contract year. You're talking about a guy that's going to be in his contract year injured. They'll always make less because they can't put the numbers up. So you probably do retain him because you've seen the rest of his tape where he did play well, but he didn't show out in a contract year. Conversely, you see guys like Daniel Jones, who's somehow in contract years has the year of his career and then falls off the map right after that. So I mean, if you're going to show out any year, it has to be your contract year.
Yeah. And that's, you're saying the Daniel Jones effect is the same thing I'm predicting is going to happen with Kenneth Walker and the Chiefs. They're just not going to get the production that they anticipate. It would have been better just to draft a guy, I think, for the Chiefs.
You can go running back to running back. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. He had a great run, and then he got paid and then fell off the map.
I think some of that, their line wasn't the same. I think it wasn't all on Zeke, but yes, you're right to that point. I mean, I can't. It's hard to argue, but I think that line had something to do with the line decreased too. The line's effectiveness decreased as well in that specific situation.
In this case, our line was terrible until this year. So
and the guy, I could talk for
numbers.
No, he didn't have a great number, but he performed when it counted.
Yeah,
and that I think deserved.
You shouldn't give a guy $15 million a year for 3
weeks,
4 good weeks, right? That was kind of like Jordan Love getting $55 million a year for 7 games. Like, what are we doing? And then they're like, oh, he's not performing. It's like he was bad until the last 7 games, and then he played out of his mind, and you paid him $55 million a year based on that, not based on the 10 games prior that he wasn't very good.
But you got the last games is what you look at. You don't look at the 3 months, the final 3 months ago. You look at the last game where he got in the rhythm, he got the system. Hey, everybody's been working together.
If I'm giving you $55 million a year, I'm looking at the whole resume.
The whole thing.
I'm not going to be like, oh, let me just pick the good games. Like, yeah, let me see these trash games you put out first. Like,
Bo, man, thanks for your time, bro. This went way longer, man. I think it's a good conversation, good topics. Thank you for your time, Bo. Once again, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on all the socials, Football Talk with Bo, my YouTube channel at Football-Talk, and on 97.3 ICU Radio every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific.
See, I'm going to get my ass up one morning, Bo, and chat with you, man.
All right. You going to be in the stadium tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Kraken. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yep. All right. We'll see you there.
Well, they got to get a win, man. They're 0-3 in their last 3 lost their last 3 games in the playoff race. Now they got the Avalanche on tomorrow night. This could be 4 in a row. Could be 4 in a row. Lambert ain't been happy.
They are 4-2 out of the Olympic break. So, they're 5-2 out of the Olympic break. So they are not trending.
Avalanche. Avalanche.
Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken. They're 2-5. You mean they're 2-5?
2-5. Yeah, that's what I meant. 2-5 out of the break. So they and they're 1 game up on the Sharks right now. So I mean they're 1 point. They're 1 point ahead of the Sharks.
I didn't attend the press conference with GM last week. Any explanation, any fair explanation of why they didn't go to the boneyard and pick up a shooter, a striker,
They did
a goal scorer?
Yeah. In the closing seconds of the trade deadline, they did go get a scorer in Bobby McMahon. And he was a guy that played with.
He actually did. He played the other. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they did go get a guy in the closing seconds. We ended up having to sit there waiting for the press conference for 3 hours because they had to get the deal done before they could announce it.
I got you.
Yeah. So we ended up sitting there. I thought I was going to be late. So, the trade deadline was noon Pacific. I get there at like 12:15. I'm like, man, I got some traffic on the way down. I was like, I hope I'm not messed up. And they're like, oh no, we're good. And then it was after 3:00 when we finally got the press. So they bought us food and stuff, like it was cool. But at the same time, you're like, like at some point, I'd like I thought I was going to be in and out and beat traffic home. And instead we were leaving at like 3:30 in the heart of traffic to drive back home. I was like,
and you're going north on a 5. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good news, man. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for your time tonight, big guy. And we'll chat it up tomorrow. Have a great one.
Sir. Take it easy.
Mr. Bo Crouch, one of the hardest working men in the Northwest. Fans, we got a lot off the table there. Real quick, I'm gonna jump into some NBA talk, but I want to give you guys some. I gotta do this before we jump into the NBA talk, fans. I'm recording here live. Well, Bo is coming to us live from the Great American Casino guest hotline. Great American Casino, they have bonus free play Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Qualified players receive up to $1,000 each in free play, 2 winners every hour. They also have great happy hours down here at the Great American Casino. Happy hour food specials, happy hour drink specials. Make sure you guys come down and check them out at 14040 Interurban Avenue South in Tukwila, Washington. That's 14040 Interurban Avenue South, Tukwila, Washington. Now, fans, I want to jump into this NBA talk, man. We got some NBA action. NBA action is fantastic. You guys remember that commercial? Where you show guys dunking on each other, and the slogan was NBA action is fantastic. Yes, it's still fantastic, fans. We had Wilt Chamberlain's record of 126 straight 20-point games this season. One of the wildest active streaks in the league, 126 games. That's over 2 seasons of averaging 20 points a game. Wilt has done this multiple times. He's actually next on the list with 90 games. So Wilt was balling, as most of you guys know. But SGA ties his record and has a chance to break his record this week. Victor Wembanyama was player of the week as the Spurs beat the Celtics. Victor hit 8 threes last night, 39 points as they dominated the Celtics, who were riding a hot wave when they got Jason Tatum back. Victor Wembanyama, fans, is a NBA MVP this season. NBA Defensive Player of the Year this season. I mean, I don't know. We can't give him the comeback player of the year. I don't know where he was coming back from, but Victor Wembanyama, very well. I said it a couple weeks ago. I said the Spurs are coming out the West, and I don't see why they're not. And typically in the NBA, a team has to have some heartache. They have to have their heart broken. They have to lose some games. OKC lost a couple of years ago. They lost to Denver before they came back and won the finals last season. You have to go through some heartache, and this Spurs team they don't have any playoff experience except for De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes. No, none of those other guys, none of the key players have playoff experience. However, I think Victor Wembanyama is so good that he's going to carry him to a championship this season. And it just shake up everything we've known about NBA basketball and how what you have to do before you win a championship, Victor Wembanyama is getting ready to change all that, folks. He's getting ready to change all that. So you better get on board. Last night we had Bam Adebayo drop 83 points in a historic performance. After the game, Bam said, "It's Wilt, me, then Kobe," and laughed as he was saying that. That's how most of the NBA fans feel today, Bam. They're laughing at your 83 points. A lot of them say it's fabricated. I had fans. You guys don't just know this has been a topic of conversation all today long, and I don't know anybody that is credited Bam Adebayo for going out and scoring 83 points. Get a man some credit. Stop taking away from this dude. Oh, I'm going to read you some text. I'm just going to read you some text that I received talking about this game, about about Bam scoring 83 points. These are just some texts talking to the homies. This is a text, fans. It's true text. They should have subbed Cam in there and gave him a shot. It would have been the same thing. This is what people are thinking about Bam's scoring 83 points. 20 minutes total. That means Sarr probably the only player played like 4 minutes in the first half. Okay. The Wizards coach needs to be fired too immediately. The Wizards and the ref had the Amazon Prime delivery of that 83 points. So they say Amazon Prime delivered Bam 83 points. Fans, these are legit texts that I have. Fans, in my phone, talking about this game. I'm going to tell you what somebody else had to say. I asked a question. My question was, where does Bam 83 points rank? That was my question to a knowledgeable sports fan. This dude come back and says 5th or 6th behind Kobe, Devin, Luka, and MJ. Come on, man. So you're telling me MJ scored 63 points in the playoff game. Bam scored 20 points more than that, and he don't get no credit. MJ's ahead of him. Luka scored 73. Bam scored 10 points more than him. This dude has Luka's scoring barrage ahead of Bam's. Devin Booker, what he scored? He scored 70 points. I think he scored 71 was his highest total. Bam's 83 is behind this one, according to this dude here. And then Wilt has done this multiple times. So I just think the fans shitting on Bam's accomplishment is hysterical. Give the man credit for doing what he did. Give him credit. He scored 83 points. I didn't watch the game, so I can't comment. Like, I watched that Kobe game where he scored 81. Kobe needed to score 81 points in that game. He needed it. But I think that game was 2007, 2006, 2007, if I remember correctly. It carried a different connotation because this was Kobe after Shaq. When Kobe had threatened to go to Chicago, threatened to go play for the Clippers, Kobe wanted the spotlight to himself. In that 2006, 2007, Kobe Bryant was absolutely berserk. Absolutely berserk, fans. I'm here to tell you. I think it was 2007 that he scored the 81 points. Absolutely bonkers. He was all by himself. He knew he was all by himself, but that's how he wanted it. It was before Powell came, and he was trying to get him some help. So that was 2006 that happened. Before he would start crying that he needed some help because he ran Shaq off, then he started crying that he needed some help. Then they brought Powell in. But in between Shaq and Powell, that version of Kobe Bryant, there was no better basketball player. Well, let me say, He was number 2 to Michael Jordan. But that version of Kobe Bryant was just a relentless killer. And he was as healthy as he had been. He knew the game. He had studied the game. He had studied Mike. Confident. He had won his 3 championships. And he was ready to kill the whole league. And then he realized he needed Powell. Powell came, and then he won 2 more. But I just brought up Kobe because I can tell you exactly what happened in that game against Toronto. I didn't watch this game against Bam. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch the game. So a lot of people say they were fouling, they were forcing him to play. He was in the last minutes of the game. Come on, man. The man's hit 83 points. Kudos to Bam for getting it done. The NBA cancels Hawks in-game promotion scheduled for March 16th. The league, Luke Cornett has to be the most hated man in the NBA right now. Him and Al Horford. They have to be the most hated men in the NBA because, number one, you go to Atlanta. I personally think Atlanta has some of the best shopping in the whole United States. So if I'm going to Atlanta, you're going to find me at Lenox Square, Buckhead Mall. You're going to find me at one of the malls. But the strip club, they were doing a Magic City Monday acknowledging Magic City Strip Club in Atlanta, which they really were promoting the hot wings. They were going to be selling chicken wings having pop-ups and selling chicken wings throughout the arena, celebrating Atlanta's love for the chicken wings. And the Magic City supposedly has some of the good chicken wings. I personally think they're overrated, but many people think they're good chicken wings. But Luke Cornett says, why are we doing this? And I don't think, I know they weren't going to have the strippers, shooting T-shirts out the little T-shirt gun. They weren't going to have strippers bringing you your sodas or serving you your beer at the stadiums. They weren't going to have strippers dancing up and down the sidelines. That's not what was going to happen. They were merely promoting Magic City and Magic City, the chicken wing from Magic City, by selling them at the stadium. That was the promotion. So they had the chicken wings and the Magic City hoodie that they sold out of the Magic City hoodie. But for the NBA to cancel the Hawks in a reason of promotion, I think it's poor taste. It's a poor taste. If if you understand, if the city does a promotion, the city should be allowed to do the promotion based on what liked in the city. In Memphis, you're gonna get some fried fish, right? Some fried catfish. In New Orleans, look, okay, fans, I'll put it to you like this. Every arena, basketball arena, from crypto arena in Los Angeles to the Rose Garden, the what do they call it? The Moda Center in Portland, to the Atlanta Hawks Stadium in Atlanta. Every stadium sells food based on their region. As a media member, when you go to a stadium and cover basketball games, they feed you, they give you food. In Atlanta, for the last couple of years, it's been Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a staple down in Georgia. Chick-fil-A is a staple in Atlanta. It's like Starbucks in Atlanta. Every other corner, there's a Chick-fil-A. They sponsor the food in the arena. So you go to Atlanta, not only do they give you a $10 gift card to Chick-fil-A, the meal is Chick-fil-A for the most part. Most times the meal is Chick-fil-A. In New Orleans, went to New Orleans. New Orleans had gumbo. They had shrimp etouffee in New Orleans. That was part of your meal for the media members. I'm saying that media, they provide food representative of that area. New Orleans, there was gumbo, there was shrimp etouffee, fire. sometimes the food isn't that great, fans, but that food in New Orleans was absolutely fire. I had to go back for seconds. In Memphis, it was fried chicken and fish. In Memphis. In Los Angeles now it varies. Some nights the Lakers offer prime ribs. At Intuit Dome in their new stadium, you got Mexican food, you got prime ribs, you got your choice of different foods. But I'm saying that every stadium has offered food specific to that region. So that would have been no different for the Magic City event to experience food from that region. That'd have been no different. And I don't understand why the NBA actually stepped in and put the kibosh on that one. But Luke Cornett and Al Horford have to be the two most hated men in the NBA right now. Tyrese Maxey, unfortunately, he's out for a few weeks with a finger injury with a finger tendon. The Clippers actually been on a little run. Kawhi's been on fire, folks. He's been on fire. Now we don't know how much longer we're going to see Kawhi because Adam Silver has to do something about this aspiration, this investigation of him potentially avoiding circumventing the cap. They're going to have to do something. They cannot let this go unpunished. I know you don't want to punish Ballmer, the richest owner you have. I know you don't want to punish Ballmer, but you got to do something. Otherwise, that means Ishbia in Phoenix, he's gonna be certain of circumventing the cap next season. All these other owners, rich owners, the owner in Washington, he's gonna be circumventing the cap next season. All these owners are gonna start doing stuff, Adam Silver, that you're not gonna be able to control. You got to put the hammer down on Ballmer. You have to do it. Otherwise, it's just everybody's gonna start doing this, Ballmer. I mean, everybody's going to start doing this, Silver. Gonna have to put the hammer down. And when I say put the hammer down, do they void the contract and make Kawhi a free agent? I don't know if they do that because that's really sticking to Ballmer. They can't take the draft picks because he doesn't have much come, especially next season. They let him throw his big party, have the All-Star game in the Intuit Dome this season. They let him participate in that. I mean, what's the next move? Are you gonna? I mean, he's worth what, $26 billion? So if you find him $1 billion, $1 billion, that's 1/25 of his net value. Is that hurting him that bad? I think what's going to hurt him most is when they say, Ballmer, you're suspended from NBA activities for one season, 365 days. That might hurt him the most. Because then he can't go to a stadium, he can't go to the game, sit front row and cheer hysterically for his team. That might hurt Ballmer the most. But they're going to have to do something, Adam Silver, and they're going to have to do something. I doubt the Clippers make the playoffs, so he doesn't have that concern to worry about. But they're going to have to do something. But nonetheless, them Clippers climbing to 500 with Kawhi balling how he's been. OKC doesn't get a lottery pick. That first round pick that goes to OKC, it won't be a lottery pick because the Clippers have climbed out of the lottery. And conversely, the Detroit Pistons leading the East. Their lead in the East is shrinking on their 4-game losing streak. Can they get this turned around? Is Kate Cunningham letting the MVP slip away as they start losing games as well? That is the interesting thought. For the 76ers, what's happening there. What you guys' thoughts on the NBA, man? The Victor Wembanyama is killing, SGA is killing it right now. The top teams in the NBA, as I see them right now today, in the Western Conference, I got the Spurs are the top in the Western Conference. I think the Spurs is going to the finals. I got the Oklahoma City Thunder behind them. I had to move the Rockets down. I wanted to believe in the Rockets. I think their lack of a point guard is hurting them this season. So I moved them down. I have the Nuggets third in the Western Conference because Nikola Jokic is a freaking killer. He's a beast. Nikola Jokic is averaging. Nobody's ever led their team in rebounds and assists in a season. Jokic is doing that. historical numbers, leading the team in rebounds and assists, and he probably leads the team in scoring as well. Jokic, SGA beat them the other night, so that gives him the edge in the MVP category. We got to see OKC beat the Spurs. SGA, you got to beat the Spurs to win the MVP. I'm not sure when you got to play again, but you're going to have to beat the Spurs before the season is over to win the MVP. If you can't beat the Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs, that's where the MVP goes. Because after the Nuggets, I got the Timberwolves, and then I got the Rockets. So Spurs, Thunder, Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Rockets round out my top 5 in the Western Conference. My top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference goes as I have the Celtics. I have to take the Celtics overtake the Pistons. The Celtics with Jaylen Brown being on the tear he's been on, then the addition of Jason Tatum, that elevates them to the best in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons, I have the Pistons behind them. The Knicks and the Pistons have a little rivalry going on. The Cavaliers, I think, are 4th, and I have the Cavaliers ahead of the Magic right now. And the Magic, I have that number, the Magic in there because who did I take out? The 76ers are just too injured. So that's my top 5 in both conferences, and we'll see how things shake out for them to end up in the playoffs. Fans, every week I want to give you guys some This Week in History. March 5, 1959, the Negro Boys Industrial School Fire, tragic fire at Wrightsville facility in, I think that was South Carolina that happened in. Yeah, I think that was in South Carolina. It was in Arkansas that happened. The Wrightsville facility. 21 boys died in this fire. March 6, 1857, fans. Dred Scott versus Sanford decision. Supreme Court rules Black Americans cannot be citizens. One of the most infamous rulings in the United States history. That was in 1857. So I don't want to really dwell on any on the racism aspect of this, but I just want to highlight the fact, fans, that in 1857, the Supreme Court rules Black Americans cannot be citizens. Gives you an idea of what you need to know about this country. That was in 1857. Obviously, things have changed, but interesting ruling back in 1857. March 7, 1965, fans, Bloody Sunday in Salem, Alabama. State police attacked peaceful marchers on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Now, you guys have seen footage of this, no doubt. Been to the Edmund Pettus Bridge a few different times. In fact, they just had a jubilee there, I believe this over the weekend. But to be peaceful protesters, they're marching from Selma, Alabama to the state capitol, which is about a 60-mile walk in March. And they got beat to a bloody pulp where they had to turn around and run back to the church. Going from Selma to Montgomery, they had to turn around. They couldn't make it over the bridge. Sad day in history. Bloody Sunday in Selma. And I tell you, having been to Selma a few different times, not much has changed since 1965. March 8, 1838, David Ruggles founds Mirror of Liberty, first Black-owned magazine in the United States. Mirror of Liberty, first Black-owned magazine in the United States, 1838. March 9, 1913, death of Harriet Tubman, one of the most important freedom fighters in American history. March 11th, 1861, Confederate States adopt their Constitution, a pivotal moment that led up to the Civil War. So there was a Civil War, for those who don't know, from the South and the North. Those who wanted slavery, those who did not want slavery. It was actually a war for that, fans. But yet we still see the Confederate flag fly freely letting people know where you stood in that war. Movie releases. March 4th to 19th, the top grossing movie released from March 4th to March 11th, 1950 to 2026, I should say. The top grossing movie fans in this time frame, Captain Marvel 2019, $219 million. Alice in Wonderland 2010, $116 million. Batman 2022, $45 million. Scream 7. Haven't heard of that one. 2026, $30 million. Zootopia 2016, $44 million. Crazy. The top movie or music releases, album, tape, CDs released March 4th to March 11th. The top grossing music, the albums. Anybody want to take a guess? Top grossing albums released March 4th through March 11th. Pink Floyd is a top grossing 210,000 copies in his first week. 1973, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, 1973. Notorious B.I.G., Life After Death, 1997, 690,000 copies were sold. Drake, More Life, 2017, 505,000 copies were sold. Kendrick Lamar, 2016, Untitled Unmastered, 2016, 178,000 copies were sold. We had Adele, 2008, Adele number 19, 2008, 115,000 copies were sold. Just giving you guys some stats on some movies that were sold. So we talked about the WNBA. We talked about the sticking points that's holding these guys back. I like to see him get back and play the game. Anybody watching the World Basketball or the World Baseball Classic? Anybody watching that? I'm not sure the Americans needed some help today. I'm not sure if we got the help. We needed Italy to lose. We needed Mexico to lose, I think, for us to advance. I haven't been watching much of that. But fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I appreciate your feedback. Appreciate you guys for chiming in. Thanks to all those who chimed in on the chat. The quote I'm going to leave you guys tonight with is, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." That's Miss Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. That's Miss Eleanor Roosevelt. Fans, once again, I want to thank you guys for your time and joining us on the Voice of the Fans podcast. I really appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. If you really like what you see and what you hear, hit that share button. Share it with your partners. Share it with your buddies. But I really appreciate your time. Thank you guys for making our voice your choice. Enjoy your weekend. See you next week.
Hey, Marcellus Wiley right here. Thank you for making our voice your choice. You know what I'm saying? Let me give me a beat, dog. Let me get something.